Hello, I'm Hope Logan. I am an actor on Bold and the Beautiful, and many people really love both me and our Bold and the Beautiful drama. So I've come here to share updates about my beloved Bold and the Beautiful. Everyone, please subscribe and support me. If you do, I will keep coming every day with new updates for you. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers suggest that once Steffy Forrester Finnegan finally sobers up and the haze of her emotional turmoil begins to clear, she may be forced to confront a painful reality. Her marriage to John Finnegan may not actually be over. What happened in Monaco left Steffy feeling completely blindsided, betrayed, and emotionally cornered after discovering that Sheila Carter had followed Finn there. But the shock became even worse when Steffy learned that Finn had known about Sheila's plans all along. Finn tried to explain himself, hoping that Steffy would understand why he had kept the information from her, yet every explanation seemed to deepen the wound rather than heal it. Steffy could not get past the image of Sheila sitting directly beside Finn for the entire flight, because to her, that detail made the situation feel even more like a devastating betrayal. Finn had convinced himself that he was simply waiting for the right moment to tell Steffy the truth, believing Sheila would take the first available flight back to Los Angeles and that the entire situation would disappear before it could become a serious problem. But instead, everything spiraled completely out of control. Now Finn understands that he is firmly in the doghouse, especially after Steffy took the emotional step of removing her wedding ring. In that moment, the ring seemed to represent everything she believed had been shattered between them. And Steffy was so overwhelmed by anger and hurt that she began to feel as though their marriage might be beyond repair. Yet there is another side to their relationship that cannot simply be erased in the heat of the moment. Steffy once vowed to love Finn forever, promising to remain by his side until death do them part, and those vows still carry enormous emotional weight even when everything around her feels broken. The truth is that Steffy and Finn are not divorced, and despite how final her actions may have seemed in Monaco, their marriage remains legally and emotionally unfinished. That makes what happens next even more dangerous, because if Steffy follows through with a passionate encounter with Carter Walton, she will cross a line that could create consequences far more devastating than anything Finn has done. What begins as drunken despair and emotional vulnerability could become the secret that ultimately threatens to destroy the very marriage Steffy is struggling so desperately to save. Steffy's pain may drive her into Carter's arms during a moment when anger, loneliness, alcohol, and heartbreak overwhelm her better judgment. The connection could become intensely passionate, fueled by the emotional storm raging inside her. But what makes the situation even more complicated is what happens afterward. Steffy is not expected to rush back to Finn and confess everything about her night with Carter, even as Finn prepares to open his heart and ask for forgiveness over the entire Sheila disaster. Instead, she may allow Finn to believe that the Monaco crisis is the only betrayal standing between them, while quietly carrying the burden of what she has done herself. Finn will have no reason to imagine that Steffy could have returned home and broken their marriage vows with another man, especially Carter, and that innocence could make the eventual revelation all the more painful. While Steffy struggles with the secret, Finn may remain completely unaware that she has gone behind his back, convinced that he is the one who must accept responsibility for nearly destroying their relationship. That creates a heartbreaking imbalance between them, because Finn may pour out his heart believing that he is the only one who made a terrible mistake. He will likely plead with Steffi for another chance, desperately hoping that she can find a way to forgive him and rebuild the trust that was damaged in Monaco. For Finn, the path forward may seem painfully simple. Admit his mistake, explain his intentions, ask for forgiveness, and prove that Sheila never mattered more to him than Steffi did. But Steffi will be carrying a secret that could make every one of those emotional pleas almost unbearable to hear. She may eventually soften, allowing herself to believe that their love is still strong enough to survive the Monaco disaster, and she could ultimately agree to patch things up with Finn. Yet even if they manage to repair the cracks in their marriage, Steffi will know that something dangerous is hiding beneath the surface. Her night with Carter cannot simply be erased, no matter how desperately she wishes she could bury it. As Steffi and Finn attempt to move forward, the shadow of her secret betrayal will continue to hang over their relationship. Every loving moment between them could carry a painful undercurrent for Steffi, because she will know that Finn is rebuilding their marriage without knowing the full truth. The guilt may become harder to silence with every passing day, particularly if Finn begins believing that they have finally left the Monaco nightmare behind them. Meanwhile, Carter will also have to live with the knowledge of what happened, and that creates another dangerous connection between two people who now share a secret capable of exploding their lives. Steffi and Carter may do everything within their power to bury the encounter, convincing themselves that silence is the only way to protect everyone involved. But in the world of the bold and the beautiful, secrets rarely stay buried forever, especially when they involve betrayal, marriage vows, and people with complicated histories. Eventually, the truth about Steffi and Carter's shocking betrayal has to come out, and when it does, the emotional fallout could be devastating. Finn may discover that while he was fighting to win back his wife's trust, Steffi was hiding a betrayal of her own, and the realization could completely shatter the fragile forgiveness they had managed to build. The anger would not simply come from the fact that Steffi was with another man, but from the possibility that she allowed Finn to believe he was the only one responsible for their marriage falling apart. Everything Finn says and does in the aftermath of Monaco could suddenly take on a different meaning once he learns what Steffi kept from him. For now, Steffi and Carter may believe they can keep their secret locked away, but the countdown to discovery has already begun. And when that secret finally leaks, the pain, anger, guilt, and betrayal could push Steffi and Finn into a new crisis that makes their Monaco nightmare look like only the beginning. For Steffi, the hardest part may not be the moment she finds herself in Carter Walton's arms, but everything that comes after, when the alcohol fades and reality begins pressing in from every direction. The emotional storm that pushed her toward Carter may feel overwhelming in the moment, especially after the humiliation and heartbreak she experienced with Finn in Monaco. But mourning brings a different kind of pain. Steffi will have to look at herself and recognize that while she was furious with Finn for keeping Sheila's presence a secret, she has now created a secret of her own. That realization could leave her caught between guilt and resentment, because she still believes Finn betrayed her first, yet she will know that her own actions cannot be justified simply because she was hurting. The silence between Steffi and Carter may suddenly feel heavier than the passionate night they shared, as both of them begin to understand that they have crossed a boundary that could change everything. And even if neither one is ready to admit how serious the situation has become, the consequences are already waiting for them. Meanwhile, Finn will be approaching Steffi from an entirely different emotional place, believing that honesty and remorse might still give their marriage a chance. He may look at Steffi and see the woman he promised to love forever, the woman he never intended to lose because of Sheila Carter's relentless interference. His heart will be filled with regret over the way the Monaco situation unfolded, especially knowing that his decision to keep Sheila's travel plans from Steffi caused such an explosive reaction. Finn may continue explaining that he was trying to protect Steffi and waiting for the right opportunity to tell her, but he will have no idea that another secret is now standing between them. Every apology he offers could make Steffi's guilt more intense because she will be listening to Finn confess his mistakes while keeping one of her own hidden. She may want to tell him the truth, but fear of destroying their marriage completely could keep the words trapped inside her. Instead, she could allow Finn to believe that if they can survive the Sheila crisis, their relationship can finally begin healing. That possibility makes Steffi's decision to forgive Finn incredibly complicated because forgiveness could bring them closer together while simultaneously making her secret even more dangerous. If she decides that their love is worth saving, she may put the Monaco disaster behind them and slowly begin rebuilding the trust that was damaged. Finn could feel an enormous sense of relief, believing that his wife has finally chosen their marriage over the chaos surrounding Sheila. He may become even more determined to prove that Steffi can trust him again, never imagining that the woman standing in front of him is carrying a devastating secret. Steffi, meanwhile, could find herself trapped in a relationship she desperately wants to save, but knows is built on incomplete truth. Every kiss, every promise, and every tender moment with Finn could remind her of Carter and the decision she made while she was at her most vulnerable. The closer she gets to restoring her marriage, the more terrifying the possibility of losing it all again becomes. Carter will also have to decide what role he plays in this dangerous secret because keeping quiet may seem like the easiest solution at first. He and Steffi could convince themselves that what happened was simply the result of an emotionally disastrous night, something neither of them intended and something they can leave behind without allowing it to destroy anyone else. But secrets shared between two people rarely remain simple, especially when one of those people is married and the other is connected to the same circle of family, friends, and complicated relationships. Carter may understand that revealing the truth could send shockwaves through Steffi's marriage, while Steffi may fear that even one careless word could bring everything crashing down. Their decision to hide what happened could therefore create a fragile alliance between them, forcing both to constantly watch their words and actions. The more they try to act as though nothing happened, the more suspicious every accidental glance or awkward interaction could become, and eventually someone may notice that something between them has changed. For Finn, the eventual discovery could be far more devastating because of the circumstances surrounding it. He will have spent so much time blaming himself for the damage caused by Sheila that he may genuinely believe he is the one who must fight hardest to repair their marriage. He may ask Steffi for another chance, promise that he will never again allow Sheila to come between them, and believe that his commitment is finally giving them a fresh beginning. Then the truth about Carter could emerge and completely destroy that sense of security. Finn would not simply be learning that Steffi was with another man. He would be learning that she concealed it while he was openly confessing his own mistakes and asking her to forgive him. That realization could make the betrayal feel even deeper because Finn may suddenly question whether the woman he trusted completely ever gave him the same honesty he was trying to give her. The pain could turn quickly into anger, and the anger could threaten to erase every fragile step they had taken toward reconciliation. Steffi may desperately try to explain that she was devastated, drunk, confused, and emotionally overwhelmed when she ended up with Carter, but those explanations may not be enough once Finn learns the truth. From his perspective, the vows they made to each other were supposed to mean something even during the darkest moments of their relationship. He may remember that Steffi once promised to love him until death do them part, making the revelation feel like a direct violation of everything they had sworn to protect. Steffi could argue that she believed their marriage was falling apart in Monaco, that she felt abandoned and betrayed, and that she was acting from a place of unbearable emotional pain. But Finn may struggle to separate her pain from the choice she ultimately made, particularly because she had the opportunity to tell him afterward and chose silence instead. What hurts most may be the realization that while he was fighting to save their marriage, Steffi was already hiding the secret that could destroy it. At that point, the question will no longer be whether Finn can forgive her, but whether he can ever trust her again. And that is where the real danger begins for Steffi and Finn, because their attempt to bury the past could ultimately become the very thing that destroys their future. The Monaco confrontation may have seemed like the greatest crisis in their marriage, but the secret involving Carter has the potential to become even more explosive. Steffi may believe she can keep the truth hidden long enough for their relationship to stabilize, while Carter may hope the same thing, but neither of them can control every circumstance around them. One unexpected conversation, one emotional confrontation, or one person discovering a clue could bring the entire secret into the light. When that happens, Finn will be forced to confront not only what Steffi did, but why she chose to hide it from him while demanding honesty from him. For now, Steffi may still have a chance to protect her marriage, but the clock is already ticking, and the longer the secret survives, the more devastating its eventual exposure could become.